You've probably heard a story like this before, right? Someone says, as soon as I finished school, I got my first job and I just saved every single penny. That's how I became a millionaire. Well, the source material we're looking at today says that this kind of statement, it isn't just wrong, it's flat out impossible. So let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be breaking down a really powerful idea. The idea that the very act of saving your money, the one thing we're all taught is the responsible thing to do, might actually be a trap. A trap that's designed to make your money silently lose value, right under your nose. So why call it a trap? Well, the argument here is that all that conventional wisdom about saving your money is actually designed to keep you in this loop of almost having enough. It's what keeps people grinding away at a job they might not even like for decades, all in the hope of saving enough to finally retire. And if you want to get ahead, you have to find a way to escape this system. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait a minute, saving money is the safe thing to do. It's responsible. And you're right. It gives you a sense of security, of control. But what if that feeling of safety is just an illusion? Let's dig into why that might actually be the case. Okay, so the first major problem we need to talk about is the nature of money itself. See, for years, big institutions have kind of benefited from the fact that most of us are never really taught how money actually works. And it all starts with this idea of something called fiat money. And here's the crucial part you've got to understand. The cash in your wallet, the numbers in your bank account, they aren't backed by a physical thing, like gold anymore. The money we use today is what's called fiat money, and getting your head around what that means is the very first step to escaping the trap. And this chart just lays out the difference perfectly. Back in the day, money's value is tied directly to a real physical thing, gold, and there's only so much of it. But modern fiat money, its value is based entirely on a government's promise that it's worth something. And that gives them an incredible amount of control, because if they want to, they can just print more. The source we're looking at uses this brilliant analogy. Our fiat money only has value because the rules of the game say it does. It's just like that colorful paper in a Monopoly box. It's a really powerful and, kind of terrifying way to think about the cash we work so hard for. And what do the banks give you in return for storing this Monopoly money with them? A tiny interest rate. We're talking maybe 0.5%. And as bad as that sounds, believe it or not, that's not even the biggest problem. There's another much more powerful force that's working against your savings. That's right, because even if you're earning that little tiny bit of interest, there is a silent force that is actively eating away at the value of your savings every single day. And that force is called inflation. At the time this source material was created, the inflation rate in the US was sitting at about 3.67%. Just think about that for a second. That means the price of everything, of goods and services, is going up by that much every year. The dollar you have today literally buys you less than it did just 1 year ago. And this chart just tells the whole story, doesn't it? On one side, you have your savings account, and it's gaining a measly 0.5%. But on the other side, inflation is taking away 3.67%. You are actively losing over 3% of your money's buying power every single year. Your money is quite literally disappearing. So where does all this inflation come from? Well, the source breaks it down into three main drivers. You've got demand pull, which is basically when too much money is chasing too few goods. Then there's cost push, when the stuff needed to make things gets more expensive. And then, of course, the big one, an increase in the money supply. When more money gets printed, every dollar you already have becomes a little less valuable. Okay, so the money is basically monopoly money, and it's losing value every single day. That sounds pretty I know. But here's the good news. The source argues that there is a way to beat the system. It just requires you to make a pretty big shift in how you think about money. And the author gives us this amazing choice, straight out of the Matrix. You can take the blue pill and just keep on believing that saving your money is the safe, smart way to go. Or you can take the red pill and see just how deep this rabbit hole goes and learn how to make the system actually work for you. I'm guessing if you're still with me, you want the red pill. And this is the core of that red pill reality. This is the big secret. You have to stop seeing money as just a thing you save up to eventually buy stuff with. You need to start seeing it for what it truly is, a tool. A tool that you can use to build and grow your wealth. And the plan proposed here is actually refreshingly simple. First things first,
You absolutely need a safety net, so you keep about 3 to 5 months worth of your living expenses in cash, somewhere you can get to it easily. That's for real emergencies only. Then, and this is the game changer, you invest the rest. You put it to work so it can grow faster than inflation is trying to eat it.
Okay, so where do you invest? Well, this source suggests looking for a platform that has a few key things going for it. You want one with low or even better, zero fees, so they're not just eating up all your returns. You also want access to a really wide variety of investments and the flexibility to make your own choices.
Now, a lot of people hear the word investing and they immediately think risk. It can feel scary, so they decide to just wait, to play it safe. But here's the final, really powerful point our source makes. The cost of waiting, the cost of doing absolutely nothing, that is often the biggest risk of all. Just look at this really stark example. Between August and October of 2021, if you had put $100 in a savings account, you would have earned, what, maybe a penny? But if you had invested that same $100 into, say, Tesla stock during that period, you would have made $35. That huge difference is what's called opportunity cost. It's the potential gain you missed out on by trying to play it safe.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In a world where inflation is a constant, not investing isn't a neutral choice. It's an active decision that comes with a guaranteed negative result. You are literally choosing to let your money lose value over time.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Your money, right now, at this very moment, is sitting somewhere. It's doing something. So the only real question is it working for you or is it working against you?